Let me just say before we begin to talk about books, I have my Winnie the Pooh mug this morning, and it is filled with an espresso roast K-cup and the newly released Harry Potter butterbeer creamer from Coffee Mate. I squealed in the store where I bought it yesterday, and it is delightful. It does not disappoint. Mm. If you've never had butterbeer at the Universal Studios in Florida, you should do it. It's just worth just going just for the butterbeer. Not kidding. Cold or warm, whatever you choose. All right, let's get started. Hi, readers. It's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper. And today I have just kind of a quick video that I need to film now because I just got these books from two of my libraries that I'm a member of. I'm a member of three altogether. And I can't figure out how to become a military member of all of the libraries that they, I guess, support. But if somebody knows how to do that and you can help me, I would love it because I cannot figure that process out. But supposedly you can add yourself to Libby. I would love that if that was a possibility. But let's talk about what I am considering. I'll probably try a chapter of these and then just kind of prioritize, but I may do a vlog on that. I may not. But let's talk about Graham Norton, who has been an author for a long time, and I had no idea. We watch Graham Norton all the time, especially lately, because he's hilarious, and he has all these people that are guest stars that are also hilarious, and it really lifts our moods with everything that's going on. So I had looked at my library, and this was the only one they have. And actually, one of my library friends that works there said, I didn't know Graham Norton was an author. And I said, I didn't either. So this is a first edition that came out in August of 2017. And this is Holding. This is a book about Tommy Burke that few people speak of what happened to Tommy Burke or the events up at the big house, but when the land betrays a secret held deep in the ground, old rivalries, violent histories, and unspoken regrets loom into view, and this once innocent seeming place must face its hidden past. So this is set in the Irish remote village of Duneen, and Sergeant P.J. Collins is a part of this case. And Brid Riordan, a mother of two, hasn't always been an alcoholic, and elegant Evelyn Ross hasn't always felt that her life was a total waste. That's all I'm going to share with you. But it's hard for you to see this, I know, because of the glare, but I think that this is going to be really fun. If you can't tell, this is a house, lights coming out of the house, and then this is a tree, I think. But yeah, this is just gorgeous. It's just hard to see. So if you don't watch Graham Norton, seriously love him. He's hilarious. He's British. What can I say? Okay, and then this one they said, your hold is ready. And I said, I don't remember putting that on hold. I must have, though. It is by Lee Radford. This is One Yellow Eye. I think I do remember when I did this, but it was a while ago. Kesta Shelley has just survived a major zombie epidemic that has left London ravaged. Having always preferred the company of microbes to people, Kesta has spent her life looking down the barrel of a microscope rather than cultivating personal relationships. But that's changed when she met Tim, her cheerleader, her best friend, her absolute everything. So when he was one of the last people in London to be infected with the perplexing virus, Kesta went into triage mode. There's a zombie apocalypse recovery group called Zarg, and her caring for this man becomes an absolute obsession. I can't wait to try this. I think I'm going to love it. I hope I'm going to love it because I had totally forgotten all about this book, but it is really well blurbed. Rachel Harrison has blurbed it. Mason Coyle, Ashley Tate, Rebecca Netley, and Nick Cutter. So we will give that a shot, shall we? Let me know. As you know, I always want to know if you read these, but if you read that one in particular, I really want to know what you thought because it sounds like perfect for me, right? Sorry, I got to drink it while it's hot. So my second library, I grabbed some books because I was going to get my hair cut and I was a little early, so I snuck into my library that's right nearby and grabbed a stack. And it's a big stack. So the first one I grabbed was the Lisa Unger, Close Your Eyes and Count to 10, which I think is fairly new as well. And I am enjoying Lisa Unger, so I thought I would give this one a chance because there was one of hers I think I've shared with you that I wasn't so pleased about. And so you just never really know. This one came out in 2025, so I did think it was fairly new. So, charismatic daredevil and extreme adventurer Maverick Dillon invites you to the ultimate game of hide and seek. But as the players gather on Fell Cow Island, the events quickly spiral into a chilling test of survival. Storm rages, deadly threat stalks the contestants, turning the challenge into something far more sinister than the social media stunt it was intended to be. Yes, closed. And this must be where it takes place. So that looks pretty isolated for sure. That one I paid for, so I'll tell you about that in a minute. This one has been on my TBR, midnight pastry shop called Hoboldung, I don't know, by Lee Anhua. I love this little cover. This is a very short one. I could probably read quickly. Welcome to Hualdong, where dessert truly is a balm for the soul. 27-year-old Yan Hua has inherited her neighborhood bakery from her grandmother. I think I talked about this in another video. Her grandmother's will spells out two conditions. Yanhua must keep the shop going for at least a month, and she must only open it to customers from 10 p.m. until midnight. She hesitates but agrees to the terms, hoping that running the bakery will help her to understand her grandmother after all these years. The name Hualdong means flower moon temple, and it's not an ordinary dessert shop. The customers who arrive at night are spirits, and they're there to attend to unfinished business before they're reincarnated. Now you know why I picked that one up as well. I mean, really, this is so pretty, and it has little dogs in the front and a cat, and well, one dog and three cats. But yes, I think I'd love to get that one read this month. Heated Rivalry, Rachel Reed. I probably don't have to tell you about this book because everybody's talking about this book and this series. And I was also compelled to grab this because I have been hearing all these people talk about this book and this series. I even saw her on a interview with someone else recently, and it was a YouTube video, and I was like, oh, I really like her. Okay, so this is the NPR Weekend Edition said this book that got me into hockey romance. I do like hockey. I don't watch it as much as I used to, but I have been feeling a little bit more in the mood of that as well. So this is about pro hockey star Shane Hollander and his game. He's the captain of the Montreal Voyageurs, won't let anything jeopardize that. Definitely not the sexy rival he loves to hate. And then Boston Bears captain Ilya Rozanov is everything that Shane's not. Self-proclaimed king of the ice, cocky as he is talented. No one can beat him except Shane. Publicly, they're enemies. Privately, they can't stop touching each other. Now, I know this is not going to be for many of you. Just that sentence probably made some of you say, oh, no, nope, and nope. But I'm going to give it a try because everybody says it is so well done and that the series has really kicked off in a big way as well. So I'm going to give it a shot. I have read male queer romance books, novels, not a ton of them for sure, but a few. But I do think this one would be fun, and I need to send it to my niece because she would love that. She loves hockey. And then the hype around this one too, let me just say, got me at hello, Dungeon Crawler Carl, when I got to the shelves of new releases. And this one really isn't that new, but you know, in that particular library, it is because they don't get as many new ones as some of my other libraries do. This came out in 2020, so it is 6 years old this year. The apocalypse will be televised is the blurb for this. Welcome to the first book in the wildly popular and addictive New York Times bestselling Dungeon Crawler Carl series with bonus material exclusive to this edition. Thank you. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Being stuck with her prize-winning show cat. And you know what's worse than that? An alien invasion, the destruction of all man-made structures on Earth, and the systematic exploitation of all the survivors for a sadistic intergalactic game show. That's what. That was a mouthful, I gotta tell you. Okay, I have friends who love this series. I have friends who have devoured this series. I have friends who have recommended I read this series. So I'm going to grab it, see how it goes from the beginning, just to see if it's something I want to continue with. And if I do, then I can either get it in hardback or I can get it on Kindle. But it does have a lot of pages, this one. This is the biggest one of that stack, 450 is a possibility. Okay, and then my library also always sells books for a small price or they give them away. And in this case, I got this, which I'm excited about. It's a hardback edition of this. It's in used condition for sure. This came out a long, long time ago. And I do love P.D. James. This came out in 2008. However, I already own this. I own another copy of it. I didn't look in my Libib app when I was in the library, so it didn't even occur to me that I had this book. But I did talk about this book when I filmed, when I first started the And Then They Were Murdered series. I talked about it. I talked about her canon, and I forgot that I owned it, but it's much smaller than this. So I'm trying to figure out why this one, I mean, it's about the same size. I guess it's got very small print, so perhaps, I don't know, but the other one that I have is much like it feels like it's half this size, but I'd have to go up and look and I'd have to get on the ladder. But nevertheless, I have it now. I don't know if I'm going to try a chapter of that or not. I may just bring it back to them because they can, or I'll bring it back to another library that can sell it because they sell theirs for $1 or something like that. So let me grab another sip and then tell you that that is the end of my library book stack. So I'm very happy with these. I'm very excited to give them a shot. Like I said, I may do a vlog about trying a chapter and see which ones really stand out for me. But in the meantime, let me know if you've read any of these. Let me know what your thoughts were about them or if any of these are on your TBR shelf. Also, let me know if you've read these authors before. Also, let me know what you're reading, maybe what you checked out from your library most recently, and let me know how you love your library because we all definitely do. I am so grateful that I have access to so many library branches in the communities where I can get to fairly fast and fairly easily. And of course, I can even check books out of the New Orleans library should I go with my daughter and granddaughter, who both love the library as well. So it's a wonderful thing to support your library. So any way you can do that, please feel free to do so. Actually, my old library where I lived before just opened up, the Library Foundation, which I was a member of and president of for a while, just opened up a used bookstore in the library branch, the main branch, and I'm so happy and so grateful for them. My friends who are still on the board have really worked hard for this, and it all came about because they did these sales, book sales, periodically through the year because people would donate books, right? And those sales were very, very popular. I'm a person who has shared books I've purchased with you from that library sale. They decided to go ahead and make this a constant event, and so that's what they've done. And so it's open about 3 days a week at good hours. And they have some volunteers there that staff it and help people to purchase used books for children, for adults, for young adults, for anyone. So I hope that your library has these kinds of things as well because I'm so honored to be a part of that library system still. They are still letting me have a card even though I don't live there. And I'm just so happy that they have made this event happen for people all the time rather than just twice a year. So thanks again for watching. Support your library. Don't forget. And as always, happy reading. Bye.